Okay, it's another Sticking It to the Man Sunday night with Steve. So I had another video scheduled that was again more about numbers that that I'll share it. Not tonight though, but I wanted to do one on what was my at this point, what was my biggest financial uh, regret about going into retirement. And I've said this before. If you haven't picked up on it, um, like it's not that I regret retiring, right? That was the best thing ever. I was stressed out. It was just a mess. So I'm really glad. Do we prepare? Yes. Do we plan? Yes. Is everything set? Yes. Um, but there is one thing I wish I would have done differently. Would I have worked another year to rectify it? Probably not. I mean, like I was really on the edge. Um, I was just unhappy in a million different ways. So, but I wanted to share the one regret I had so far, like it's been about a year and a few months, is I should have saved more cash. So like I said, the reason I didn't save more cash is because I thought my 401k plan would let me draw down at 55 because of the 55 rule and that the government gives you, but my plan wouldn't let me do it, which is really a shame. You know, the government would let me do it without penalty, but my plan wouldn't. So it kind of messed up. I was looking to take more cash out these early years before I hit, a couple of years before I hit 59 and a half, or before I hit like 61 or 62. But the sad part is I can't take any money out until I'm 59 and a half without penalty. So what did I have? I mean, I really wasn't doing all that bad. Like I had before retirement, I had just 40,000 that I knew I was going to need for my portion of 2024 expenses. I had 155,000 just sitting in the bank ready to go for healthcare and stuff in the future. And then I had another 40,000 ready to go for 2025 expenses. Because remember, I retired in March of 2024. So, so if you add this up, it's pretty awesome, right? I had $270,000. Now, I just did a video for healthcare and to continue to do my portion of the bills for the next few years because my wife in 2 or 3 years, she hasn't decided yet, is going to stop teaching, and then we got to cover the healthcare. That is the only reason why I would need to bring my to bring my cash up, was so that it would, so I wouldn't have a lot of cash and investments and things like that. Well, interestingly enough, it looks like from what I read from the Trump bill that a lot of the credits are going to go away. So now you have to make less than 100,000, I think 4 times the poverty rate or something before you can qualify for any subsidies. But you can look that up on your own. Um, so the one thing I would have done is a few years ago, like I said, I did have a Roth. I found out like a few years ago before I retired that I could do the backdoor Roth. So I had gotten a raise for like $1,000 a month. So right away I jammed that into the backdoor Roth. So I like if I would suggest to anybody, you gotta open up these Roths early. So the problem I had too was I had to max out my 401k to get the max benefit. It wasn't like I could put 10,000 into my 401k and they would give me my max benefit. I had to max out my 401k. So if I could do it all over again, because it's a bit stressful now, because I'm going to have a video coming out on do Roth conversions work for me? Because uh, I thought, well, I could do some Roth conversions to kind of rectify that situation a little bit. And you've seen my healthcare video where I'm gonna have to pull out like 90,000 each year for healthcare to get my healthcare down, and that's kind of a pain. It's going to be a lot on the tax side. It's going to bump me up into a tax bracket. So listen, I am loving retirement. I'm almost to a certain extent a changed person, a lot more relaxed, just a lot more happy. Time flies. It's unbelievable how fast time flies. But if I was to tell people, before me, figure out a way to get more cash, whether that's real cash. Oh, the other problem I had is I worked for an investment bank, so I couldn't. It was really, they kind of make it difficult for you to invest in the stock market. So now part of that was just me being lazy, but you have to get approval to buy, you have to get approval to sell. So that was just another thing that kind of got in the way of me in trying to figure out a way to get money into investments or to get money to get more cash, after tax stuff. So I don't regret much of anything so far. It's been great. There's things you learn, but the most important thing is keeping a schedule. But but if I could redo it, I think I'd really work hard to figure out a way to stash more after tax dollars. So that's my sticking it to the man Sunday night, little short little video, not tons of spreadsheets, not tons of right capital. I'll let you relax a little bit and just listen to me. So have a great night. Stash the cash if you can. So take care and thanks again for listening to me.